Hi guys, how are you? Okay, so we're going to continue drawing some of the things that we really like or represent us and we think are pretty. So one of the important things to do or notice is before you get started is that you basically have to make sure that you draw all of these details because it is the details that will actually make it pop out and not only pop out, kind of make it look closer to what you're trying to draw. So if you're going to draw a butterfly, for example, I'm just going to go ahead and draw one. If I were to draw a butterfly for the things that I like and kind of represent something that I do. So if I draw the wings and I want to try to make them as symmetrical as possible, and I'm drawing the wings. By the way, this is not my favorite butterfly, but see, and I just go, that's a kind of a boring butterfly, right? It's not the best butterfly. It's a little boring. However, if I take my time and I just imagine that the body of the butterfly is like what used to be a former caterpillar. So I'm gonna just go ahead and do these little curvy lines here so that it can look sort of like it's partitioned into bits and kind of then reminds me. And then I'm gonna make sure that I have the little nice little antenna sticking out. And then I want to make sure that the wings are as symmetrical as possible. So when I'm drawing what I do to one side, I am actually doing to the other, right? I'm indenting it. I'm trying to get is as closely as possible to what a butterfly will actually look like. So it is more symmetrical, or it looks a little bit better than this. I'm going to go ahead and do the bottom wings. So now this is fantasy, right? So either A, I can go the route that I'm going to make it as realistic as possible as I can, or I'm going to go the different route. And the different route would be that I would just make sure that I have as many little details as possible. So I noticed that this side is not as long as I wanted for this one. So I'm going to go ahead and color this side, and I'm going to do the same thing because I want to practice symmetry. So I'm adding color. And I'm trying to color as neatly as possible, because if you take something and you did not color as neatly as possible, what then happens is that all the hard work of your drawing just gets erased. So I'm going to go ahead and try to make this as symmetrical as possible and make sure that I'm bringing in colors that would make it stand out. So I'm going to go ahead. This is actually looking like an eye. So interesting fact, butterflies have things in them that look like eyes. And the reason why they have natural designs that look like eyes is sort of nature's way of letting you know, or letting the other bug who may be eyeing the butterfly to eat, they'll be like, wait, that's a bigger bug. Maybe I don't want to mess with that bug because that bug is much bigger. So by coloring it neatly, by focusing on design, it is already looking way better than that one over there. And I want to just make sure that I am doing what I do to the other side. And it's the same thing. If you have a Fortnite character and you have Fish Stick, for example, but you don't take the time to draw him the way you should. You don't take the time to make sure he has his little hat, make sure he has his lips a particular way, his eyes are not popping out. You're not making sure to do that, then it's not going to look like Fish Stick. Same thing for Wolverine or any other character that you may like in Fortnite or like in Marvel. If you're not taking the time to make sure that it has all of the little designs that could make it more realistic to what you like. Same thing if you have a PlayStation remote. Some of you guys chose some kind of remote. And in that case, what you did is it's something that's important to you. And if you don't do it justice, or if you just color everything blah, it's not going to really look like a cool remote. You can even, I know that with PlayStation remotes, actually no, for Nintendo Switch, I know for sure, they have some that have Super Mario. There's some that have some of the games that you might like. And so that would actually make it look cooler. You can do that. You can put designs. I know I'm gonna give a shout out to one of my students called Suhaila. So Suhaila did like this really nice like Moroccan cup tea set. It was ceramic, and it was just all those pretty little details that made it look more like artisan work, and she got a 4 for that. Nadia also, she did a lot of cool details that look really, she looked at her drawing or the thing, her focus, and said, you know what, I want to make sure that it looks as close as possible as the characters that I like. And so she made sure to draw it. You guys need to take kind of pride in your work. If you take pride in your work, it's going to really stand out. If you're just doing it to do it just because, oh, I just want to finish that assignment, it's not going to come out as nice. You need to really allow yourself to get into the project, get into your drawing and coloring so that you can make sure that it really stands out. So this is what I have so far in less than 5 minutes. Look what I have. Look at the difference already. I'm focusing. It doesn't take that long. I mean, granted, it might take you a tiny bit longer than me just because of the fact that you're younger, but it can be done. If you make the effort to make your artwork stand out, to make sure that the colors are really showing, then I'm going to see that. You know, I'm going to notice that. You're going to notice that, and people who walk around, because these projects are going to be hanging up. So you want people to really notice your work and be like, whoa, look who did that. That really stands out. They won't even have to look at the name and they'll be like, wow, that's incredible. And then they'll see the part where your name is written and they'll be like, wow, that person really made an effort. That's so beautiful. And you want people to look at your work and show at least that you made effort, and they do. It doesn't have to be perfect. So some of you guys might be saying, Miss Lena, I don't know how to draw that well. Miss Lena, I don't really like how I draw. It doesn't look like yours, or it doesn't look like that person. But it will look great because you're making an effort. If you make an effort, you can tell by the work. I'm gonna just continue making some more designs on this butterfly. And now, like for instance, in some cases, you don't always have to color, but you can make a whole bunch of designs that will then make it really stand out. And so we are making sure that things are standing out in our work. And this is just a butterfly. And I'm trying to see and make sure that I have all of these cool details. You can add more stuff. Because it is a butterfly, I'm trying to make sure that what I do to one side is on the other side. And that's it. I am done with this butterfly. You see how pretty that is? It would be nice if I colored this, but I don't really need to because I have already designs and I have a lot of colors. We can draw something else. Let me just take, I don't want to do fish stick, but I think I would like to do a tree. A tree is actually a perfect example. So I'm going to go ahead and flip this over so you can see. I'm just going to probably get to only draw it and not color it, but that's okay. So if you have a tree, now some of you guys like to draw a tree like a broccoli, and usually it's little kids who do that, right? They draw the tree, it looks like a broccoli, and it fulfills the requirement of a tree. Now some people can go ahead and maybe do little leaves inside here. However, if you draw a tree and you take the time to draw the branches, so something like this is a tree versus this. So you have a tree, and I like to make things like look like this first because that's going to be the branches. And you can make it a little thicker, right? And then you go ahead and you make leaves. And it doesn't take, I mean, it's definitely longer than this. But sometimes I honestly think that when you draw, it feels kind of relaxing. I'm hoping you don't feel pressure when you draw, but it kind of feels relaxing because you're focusing on something. So if, let's say, your day didn't go that great, you don't have to think about what went wrong. You can think about, oh my gosh, I need to do these leaves. I need to focus on whatever I'm doing. And that's kind of a part of one of the purposes of art. It kind of takes our mind off of the other stuff, and it makes us focus on the things that we're able to create and make beautiful. So if we do all of these leaves, and I'm trying to do it pretty fast so I can not exceed my 10 minutes here, but if I do all my leaves like this, and it's just doing something like this, the leaf is like that, right? You could even go further and make those little things, but that's going to be a little bit more time consuming, and I'm going a little quicker, but I'm still putting details on this tree. Okay, I'm gonna try to finish this so that I can show and discuss, right? Okay, and then maybe some kind of bark lines over there. All right, that's it. We're like at our 10 minutes. Do you see the difference? So this looks like a broccoli and this looks like a tree with leaves. This one looks like you cared, right? And at this age, you guys need to show more details in your work. It makes a major difference. I mean, this is okay for kindergarten and preschool, but this is better for elementary, okay? Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. You are an artist. Even if you think you're not, you are definitely an artist. You just have to give it a little bit more effort. And you kind of got to get into it. If it's music that inspires you, turn up the volume, play the music. You have to do what it takes to make you feel like you're in a happy place and you are allowed to be creative. Anyway, have an awesome day. Bye.